This video is going to demonstrate how you can set a left tab using the ruler. In lesson 35, you are going to be keying a modified block letter, and if you look on page 137, a modified block letter, the date is indented to 3.25, so is the complimentary closing, the writer's name, and the title. To indent the text, you want to use a left tab, not a first line indent. Many students want to use a first line indent, but you would get counted off. A first line indent creates a lot more work for you than setting a left tab. Tabs are used to indent paragraphs and to align text vertically. The default tab stops are set every half inch. So if I hit tab, it indents a half inch, then an inch, all the way across my line of writing. The default tabs, and I'm just going to go up to undo and eliminate those. In our modified block letter, we want to set a left tab at the center of the line of writing. Now, the center of the line of writing is determined by the width of our page. Our paper is 8.5 inches wide. We have a 1 inch margin on the left and a 1 inch margin on the right. And nothing is keyed in the margins. The margins are the distance between the edge of the paper and where we begin keying text. So we have an 8.5 sheet of paper, a 1 inch margin on each side. We add those two together to get 2. Subtract that from 8.5, and that gives us a line of writing of 6.5 inches. Now, to determine the center of that, we would take 6.5 and divide by 2. The center is going to be 3.25, and that's where we're going to set our left margin. Your left margin is right over here. Make sure you have your ruler on. Go to View and click on Ruler if you don't have it on, or you will not see your tab alignment button. It's all the way over at the left. It looks like an Allen. When you point to it, the tooltip says it's a left tab. If you click on it, it now becomes a center tab. Click again, it is a right tab. Click again, it's a decimal tab. Again, it is a bar tab. This is a first line indent, and this is what you do not want to use to align the text in a modified block letter. Click again, this is a hanging indent, which we will be using when we key references in long reports. And click again, and we're back to the left tab. The left tab is the default setting on the alignment button. Now, to set your left tab at the center of the line of writing, which is 3.25, we're going to place it between 3.5 inch. We just point right on the ruler and you click, and your left tab is set. Now, to key your letter, you're going to hit your enter key 3 times, and the first thing that you are going to have in your letter is your date. We want it to start at center, so we click and we go into insert, date and time, and we always use the month spelled out by the day and year. Click OK. After the date, you're going to hit enter twice, and then you're going to key the address and the body of the letter. I don't know what just happened here. So I'm going to place that in there. So now my letter is in here, and I'm ready to key the complimentary closing. I hit tab to go to the center, key in the word sincerely, and it's followed by a comma because in this letter we are using mixed punctuation. Mixed punctuation is explained on 136. Mixed punctuation is when you use a colon after the salutation, comma after the complimentary closing. We're going to press enter twice. When you hit enter, your cursor goes back to the left margin. You hit tab, you key in the writer's name. Now to key the writer's title, we're going to hit Shift Enter. It's going to take us over to the left and hit tab, and you're going to key Communication Consultant. You're going to hit Enter. You're going to key your reference initials, and remember you need to do that, undo automatic capitalization. Then if you have an enclosure notation, you're going to key Enclosure. Now if you were writing what was in the enclosure, you would need to tab to an inch. Now you would have to reset the tab because your tab is at 3.5. You would wait till you get to enclosure and set your tab at an inch, and we're just going to say they're enclosing a brochure. Now we want to hit Enter. If we have a copy notation, we would hit the C. Copy notations are at a 1/2 inch. Reset the tab, and we're sending copy to Mr. John Smith. Now your C goes to automatic capitalization. You want to undo it, and there is a modified block letter. You want to make sure that your date, your complimentary closing, writer's name, and title start at the center where you set the left tab. The last thing you want to do is use center alignment. You do not want to use it. If you have any questions on setting tabs for modified block letters, turn to page 135.